Traditional home gardens as a tools for ensuring food security and forest landscape restoration. The case of MEPA indigenous community in Mexico. In many tropical landscapes, continued forest degradation is a serious obstacle to reverse the negative effects of biodiversity loss. Also limits the ability of local communities to affront the effects of climate change. Then, the conservation and the restoration of forest ecosystems is a global priority. Restoration efforts can be conceived along a continuum ranging from restoration of a specific size based on a reference ecosystems to restoration of landscape for production and natural resources conservation. The forest landscape restoration strategies take place in areas occupied by human community, so they must need include the participation of different actors as well as the cooperation between different forms of produced knowledge and experience in a bottom-up perspective. Among the strategies proposed by forest landscape restoration, the establishment and rehab of agroforestry systems is especially relevant. Four major groups of agroforestry systems has been commonly adopted: alley cropping, green bricks, silvopastoral systems, and home gardens. The home gardens is a form of traditional production consisting in the development of multiple crops capable of providing livelihoods that complement the family diet and often generate an additional economic input, contributing to maintain the family food security. Then, the gardens are considered inherent to the housing unit. La Montaña is mostly a rural region in Guerrero State, southern Mexico, and it hosts most of the indigenous population of the state, in particular the ethnic group Mepa, Nahua, and Musabi. At the national level, La Montaña is considered one of the poorest regions with high levels of degradation of natural resources. The dominant vegetation are pine oak forests and deciduous tropical forests. The main economic activity is family agriculture carried out in steep slope, which make it difficult and favor erosion. In the region, the agricultural system is consisted of traditional production plots and home gardens. Generally, the plots are managed by men, are small, with an irregular shape, and located far away from the houses. Within plots are planted corn, bean, and squash with some wood species in a traditional slash and burr system known as milpa. Other plots are used to organic production for marketing purposes, mainly hibiscus, bean, and coffee. The home gardens are used to produce fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs, and raise the animal for self-consumption. This unit is managed by women and their sons. Since 2005, the indigenous non-governmental organization Shuajimepa works in a agroecological project which aims to generate opportunity for economic and social development of MEPA community based on their cultural diversity and its indigenous worldview. In 2014, Shuajimepa started the project Ambayusca Cultura MEPA Home Garden, which consisted in the productive restoration of approximately 200 traditional home gardens of indigenous families. In a first phase of this project, a technical team of Shuajimepa, integrated by indigenous people, was trained in soil and water conservation strategies, holistic management of raising animals, and production of vegetables in microtons. In second phase, the home gardens were characterized in terms of species composition and productivity. Also, exotic and native plants desired by local people, agricultural tools, water storage material, and other material were distributed. In partnership with Shuajimepa, the National Autonomous University of Mexico have worked in several projects about sociological aspects of home gardens in the region. This presentation highlights the most relevant processes and results from NGO and UNAM projects. The home gardens are the main source of food for MEPA families. The most important species are soursop, banana, mango, papaya, orange, nanche, and tejoruco. Also, there is tolerate the growth of multipurpose native trees and other non-native species from which obtain medicines, wood, construction, and religious materials. The families consume most of the products and also sell or exchange a small quantity with their neighbors. In the home gardens, also animals are raised for self-consumption, mainly chickens, pigs, and goats. The home gardens are small but contain a high plant diversity. This diversity can be explained by the intensive seed exchange, a common practice between women of MEPA communities. Also, the home gardens contain a high genetic diversity because there are maintained different varieties of the same species. 36 bird species were found in 15 home gardens. Most of them were generalist, but others were forest specialist species. The conservation of birds at the home gardens offer important ecosystem services such as insect population control, pollination, and plant dispersal. Most of the birds only perch, others search for food or material for nest construction, and others build their nest inside the home gardens. Home gardens agrodiversity is very important for MEPA communities in the La Montaña region because contribute to its food security and sovereignty. This is relevant because in the region, 75% of its inhabitants don't have sufficient access to food. The food security and the maintenance of ecological functions favor the resilience of the community. Consequently, the home gardens are a key element for socio-ecological resilience in the region. Some relevant aspects. Home gardens contribute to meet food consumption needs of MEPA families. They are well adapted to the local socio-ecological context. The higher species diversity in home gardens could be a consequence of intensive family labor, in particular women, and it is necessary to generate mechanisms of valorization and financial transfer to benefit directly the women by the ecosystem service provided. The restoration projects are a great opportunity to increase the sustainability of traditional community and also reduce the negative impact of deforestation and climate change. Home gardens rehab can be useful for forest landscape restoration to generate environmental and direct human benefits. The findings of this project could be useful for NGO and extension workers, as well as science, to develop home garden specific intervention for food security and agrodiversity conservation. Thank you.